British comedian Milton Jones told the following joke. I was in a shop in America and the assistant said to me, "Have a nice day." I didn't, so I sued them. Right. Now, obviously it's not one of his best,
No.
but it does highlight that the US is quite a litigious country.
Mm.
And probably Florida is the national champion in that country of being litigious.
Yeah.
It's toss-up between Florida and California.
Mm.
Two are quite, you know.
Yeah.
Well, it will be now. As I understand, the President of the United States will sue the BBC for their panorama program in that state where he has a residence.
Mm.
$1 billion for one of the most outlandish plays by the left.
Yeah.
Political press.
Political press, yeah.
Who thought it could tell an absolute bald-faced lie about somebody on the other side of the world in an effort to kill his chances of becoming elected to the most important position in the free world.
Mm.
Now, it isn't the first time that Panorama has tried to ply their lies into the public square. Some years ago, in 2019, I think it was, John Sweeney, he was a producer of Panama. He had to resign because he tried to get a friend of Tommy Robinson say that Robinson had abused her sexually when it wasn't true.
Mm.
And this was for Sweeney's expose on Robinson for Panorama. And he put that in the documentary.
Yeah.
This triggered Robinson, of course, to produce his own documentary called Panodrama, revealing the facts relating to this episode. And this, of course, made this Sweeney guy recuse himself from the company, should we say.
Yes.
More recently, in another documentary, the BBC contracted a small boy to appear in How to Survive a War Zone.
Mm.
Only the boy, they found out, was some sort of one of the leaders of Hamas, son of one of the leaders of Hamas. So, you know, it's a bit of a dud. A bit of a dud.
Yes.
Right? Ofcom declared that the BBC had broken all the rules. Later, another Panorama hit piece, Gaza, Dying for Food, was highly criticised for its inaccurate journalism and left-leaning political bent.
Mm.
So it seems this last documentary about Trump was the last straw, because it was about a person and not necessarily a situation.
Yes.
Or, you know. And now the most powerful man in the world is about to make the BBC pay, as he would say it, bigly.
Mm.
Now, I don't want to talk about the merits of the case because the BBC has admitted wrongdoing.
Mm.
And the top brass have jumped overboard, so to speak.
Well, to have, yes.
With a very big handshake, I should imagine. It is, after all, the BBC, and it is, after all, public money.
I don't know, but yes.
I would like to look at the reaction by the left, arguing that the Trump case cannot be tried in the US, which it can, of course it can. Yeah. And that Trump wasn't hurt by what they did, which he was.
Well,
yes, he was. The left trying to cover their own by doing the very same thing they were sued for, lying.
Mm.
You know, Trump may not get the $1 billion. I'm sure they'll settle out of court and they'll give the money to charity like he did the last time with CBS, US. But left talking heads on the media are burning themselves inside out with jealousy because either way, the Donald is going to get a handsome payday. Unfortunately, it will be at the population's expense, which is more reason for him to give the amount to charity.
Yeah.
Perhaps even a British one.
I was going to
Perhaps
say
even
that would be a much more decent thing, but yeah,
noble thing.
that's out there. Yeah.
Now, in great British style, celebrities contracted by the BBC are all coming out against Trump. So John Simpson criticised the abilities of Donald Trump's lawyers, and an ex-BBC host, Jonathan Dimbleby, likened Trump to Vladimir Putin. Well, of course he did. He should stand in the queue for that one because everybody else on the left is saying that Trump's a commie, and you all know about the Russia documents and things.
Yeah. Yes.
You know, but I mean, if I was in BBC, my tongue would be so far out of my mouth, waiting to lick Trump's ass so much, you know. And these dickheads at the BBC are giving him the middle finger. I mean,
well,
what can they expect? And to put the top hat on it all,
yeah,
this Britain has refused to give the US information about the Venezuelan drug lords' boats full of narcotics heading to the American shores. You know that the UK, the US, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, the Five Eyes.
Yeah.
Well, the UK has decided not to give any more information. The UK and, funnily enough, Colombia are not going to give any more information about the narcotics boats heading towards the US, so that the US can blow them out of the water.
Yeah.
So former Trump advisor, as former Trump advisor Steve Bannon said, you're either with us or you're against us.
Yes.
Looks like the UK is against.
Yes.
Talk about FAFO. This is on steroids.
Well, yeah. Okay.
There you are. I've had my rant.
Well, I'm going to address the main thing first. The documentary. Let's just say yes. I mean, it was so obviously doctored. It's not so much it was done, and yeah, okay, spin whatever else they want to call it. Then they try and redress it up. Oh, it was it was an opinion piece. Yeah, it's what we think Trump meant to say. Well, you're not meant to there. What you can say what you think, but you can't actually present it in the way they did as a hit piece.
In that case, it's an opinion piece. It's not a documentary.
Exactly, and in which case it's no longer a news item. Yeah, it's like you and me sitting here expressing our opinions about things. Yeah, we're not giving you news. We're giving you an opinion. And that is not a news item's job to do. I mean, Panorama was respected at one point for bringing hard-hitting news things to the public attention, and that's what it should be doing. Now, with regards, I'm not going to say left or right wing or anything else. I think we've gone beyond that, because it's now getting to the stage where we have to question anything we see on any mainstream media, mainstream media. Yeah. Because everything's becoming so polarized one way or another with views. And I mean, present the facts. Okay. This is A, B, C, or D. I think we believe this is what Trump was trying to infer. Okay, that could be litigious grounds, yeah, but to outgot it. But now the trouble is, certain journalists, yeah, okay, I'll go back to the left or right, but yeah, that they feel they're entitled to force their opinion across. Now, the most incredible thing is they're arrogant enough to do it. This whole speech is in the public domain already. Anyone that's so what can go and watch the hour of it. I saw it happen live. I think you did. I thought it was ill-advised that Trump had the rally there and everything else, but disregards that. I'm British. I'm not American. The Americans can do whatever they want to do. Yeah, in that respect, I didn't think it was a good thing, but I'm not going to go beyond that on it, but he did not say go and riot. With all due respect, I see more trouble from organisations more affiliated with left wing organiser or left wing political things than I do from the right wing. I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't happen. Yeah, we all know that's not true. You know, you're always going to get a few idiots associated with both sides, but it does seem one side is outweighed with idiots who go out and cause violence and destroy cities and destroy property, threaten and try to threaten and intimidate people. In fact, there's a chart that's actually I saw yesterday from the US, which did have acts of violence between or in the cities. Yeah, they really, let's just put it this way: Democrat cities are very high up on violence
Yes,
associated with political violence, as opposed to the Republicans and the Independent. I'm sorry if I've misquoted that,
but
but
that's more because the law enforcement's been
yeah,
lowered.
yeah. But it's a mentality. They think they can get away with it. Now the same with these journalists. They think they can get away with it. They even believe it. They also believe the means justifies the ends.
Yes, of course. The
And
ends are the means.
yeah, yeah. And we're gonna put this out anyway. This is what we want people to think. We are righteous anyway. We're in the right. Yeah. This might not be true here. There's something could be true in the future. This is how they think. Well, we've seen this with policing and everything, with certain, you say law enforcement actually believe some of this as well, and other people. The footage from the actual riots themselves would prove otherwise, with the police waving the protesters into the members of the public. I won't even say they were protesters. I don't think
The only people that died at that January the 6th uh, uh, happening
yeah.
were killed by policemen, by the way.
Well, the only one person, yeah, which was an unfortunate.
No, there were three people that died at that place.
Yeah, yeah. I think
There was a lady that tried to go through the window who was shot
yeah,
by the police.
yeah,
There was a lady at the end of an archway where she
yeah,
was being beat by a female policeman with a pole,
yeah.
and two died.
Mm.
And there was one other guy, I think, was hit with a pepper thing in the face,
Oh,
and
well.
he died because of asphyxiation.
Asphyxiation. Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
it's easy for you to say.
yeah. No, it wasn't. That was the trouble. Yeah, given my profession, yeah. But things you don't say every day of your life. But yes, it's a
But coming back to this, I
yeah,
find it interesting.
left,
The left,
left. Well,
uh, try, trying to break it all down and trying to justify what or try and justify the apology
well,
of the BBC by saying that it was a mistake, and it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't a mistake.
well. Yeah, I mean, even my limited experience editing, like I do the technical stuff, the computer stuff here, the editing here. You have to deliberately,
That's why people. It always looks very fluid.
yeah, um, yeah. It is um, it is a deliberate act you make, and sometimes you sit there. Do I cut this out or don't I? Or how do I do this? Or just and then you have to look at the meaning. It's like if I cut something, Steve. Admittedly, one day I made a mistake. Steve does review everything we do, and he said you've missed out a whole chunk here. You've made me sound like I said something else. Oh, sorry, Steve. Yeah, because obviously you edit quite quickly, but they had time. They've had over a year to edit this. Yeah, so it was not a mistake. Yes, when you could do it and it gets reviewed. Well, I think we just changed the meaning here accidentally, and this is what an editor's meant to do. It was an editorial decision that got made by someone. Okay, the guy in the editing suite, maybe he's. I'm not saying technicians or anyone's in on it. What's even funnier though is that the company, because obviously everything's contracted out, the BBC probably does very little of its own actually production now. it sounds like a bit more like a management company now, organization now. They just contracts his productions out. Okay, it's a business model. And they, well, yeah, I'm going to get to that in a minute. But yeah, and it sounds like that the company responsible for who produced this particular package, because they're called packages, aren't they? These things are. Were doing a documentary about the Reform Party in the UK. So Farage or the Reform Party have been very open. In fact, they've jumped into an organisation that's very critical of them and been open door with them. Come and see what we're all really about. Well, now they've got rid of this organisation. Yeah, they've stopped cooperation.
Can't be trusted.
Well, that's it. And to be quite honest, journalism and program making in general is all about trust. Well, yes, it is a business. The BBC is a business, be it a very strangely financed one. And it is all about trust. Am I going to talk to a journalist? I wouldn't talk to journalists. I mean, in my past life in doing work in the industry, we were always told don't talk to journalists. Quite literally, we were told bluntly one day. It was in our rule book not to speak to journalists.
Don't talk to journalists, not policemen.
Really, yeah. That was really it. Yeah. Refer them to the press people or and that's what we're always told to do. Because you can't trust anyone.